Been thinking about it long and hard, and I think the only option for me is to enter a monastery. I think I can pull it off. I might be an atheist, but they're not to know that. And the thing is, um, I've seen The Sound of Music loads of times. I know it word for word. So I've got a fair idea what I'm dealing with. I think I'll be all right. Because if you're a nun, you get your own place. Plus, I'm a virgin, so I'm not bringing any sexually transmitted disease in. I'm teetotal because they don't have an alcoholic nuns, and nobody on drugs or been to prison. So I've got a clean record completely, not even a parking ticket because I don't drive. And also, I'm teetotal and I've never been on street drugs, any drugs, only prescription from the doctor. So, I mean, the thing is, I don't know, because it looks very precarious, my situation now. I'm very lucky at the moment because I've been put in a hotel, and it's by a charity called Lighting the Life in Southport. They've been very good. And the woman, Greta, has turned out to be a wonderful person who actually cares and does help people. And she's got a wonderful husband working there as well. And they do it and they're really helpful to people in Southport. I think they only do it in Southport. I don't know whether this charity runs all over Britain. They help homeless and people with problems. You go in there if you're like going to be evicted and stuff, and they help you with all that type of stuff. Lighting the Life, I think it's called. And they've been very helpful. If it wasn't for them, I'd have been dead by now because I had no money and I was on the streets. And Chester West Council, who are brutal, and everyone knows it, the housing option team, I'm not saying the rest of the council, I'm saying the housing option team. I don't know about the rest of the council. They might be okay. I don't know them. All I know is that they are barbaric and they left me to sleep on the streets, okay? So this is different, so I don't know what they can do. But I'm not under this Sefton Council, so they might not be able to do anything. So we don't know what's going to happen from then on in. I've got a few nights now where I'm off the streets, but it looks very precarious. Now, there was a wonderful woman I bumped into the other day called Norma. I wish she turned up again. And she was amazing. And she told me to go to see the Presbyterian in a Catholic church or something. But I think I'm going to have to enter a monastery. I don't know. This looks weird because I'm drinking tomato soup out of plastic cups because I've got no cooking things and I just fancied some soup. And they gave me food vouchers as well. They've given me Morrison's voucher so I don't starve because I've got zero money. So that's good. And it's lovely and warm in this hotel now. I'm fine. I'm here for a few nights. It's lovely. But if I was here safe, it would be great. But I don't think the council will take it over and I don't think they'll put me anywhere decent. So if they're going to threaten me with dangerous hostels, I'm back on the streets. So I'm just trying to get into I don't know what to do. How do I get into this nunnery? I think what I need to do is go to this Presbyterian thing, whatever she said. I've written it on a piece of paper. I probably got the wrong word. And she told me, that wonderful woman called Norma, she used to be a midwife from Ireland. And she had a husband with her, lovely people. And I met them a few days ago. And that's what she's told me to do, to go into there and speak to them, because the Catholic Church care a lot more. That's what she said. Well, let's hope some church does, because that Welsh church in Chester couldn't give a rat's arse. Or the Spiritualist church in Chester, could they? No. So we know where that scenario went. But I don't know. Let's hope somebody does care as well, because I'm worried sick, because I think they can do so much. And they've done very much, this Lighting the Life, because they have given me vouchers for the Morrison so I can get food. And they've also put me in a hotel so for a few nights now. So I don't know what's going to happen after that. I hope they can keep me here because I feel safe here. But I mean, I don't know how long that'll play out for. So something's got to be done. I've got zero money. Nobody's helping me on here. I hope the right person would get hold of this. I'm head itching because I've probably got lice. I don't know what I've got after sleeping rough. And I'm in a hell of a mess. So people have said I've been in hospital. I have not been in hospital on here. Oh, I've had some sick weirdo called Sarah Body. Now, whether that's a fake name or not, she seems to have an obsession with me if this person is real, because she's been harassing me on here a lot, giving me death threats and all sorts. So I'm just warning Sarah Body, please do not ever contact me again, because the police have been informed about your behaviour. Thank you. Anyway, I don't want to give her any time because she thinks that's fun, me mentioning her, I suppose. like I care about her anyway. If the death threat was where she's going to snap my neck and a strong man would do it in a second, then yeah, I'd be very grateful. But I mean, it's not, is it? She's just a silly person, a malicious entity. Anyway, I'm not interested in people like her. I'm interested in getting the right person to help me. And all it takes is somebody, I'm being honest, I'm not a liar, to bail me out, basically. I need money, that's my problem. So if somebody had like a few million quid and give it me now, I would never need to bother anyone ever again. I'd never be a burden on anyone because I could buy a property that would be suitable for me, get one of those jacuzzi baths thrown in, stand a stair lift, and that's all I need. I'd never ever need to be in a hotel again. I'd never have to sleep rough again. I'd never have to worry about killing myself again. I'd never be in a mess again because I'd be so grateful to have a home. Do you know what I mean? But it costs a lot of money to get one now, doesn't it? I know it does. I don't think you need a few million. I don't know. They're about £300,000. I don't know how much a property is. That's how much it said they were in Chester, a flat there. It's terrible. And some in West Kirby are 800k, but it can't be that much. I think they're about 150 you can get a normal place for, can't you? I don't know. But where am I going to get money like that from? I haven't even got 50p, let alone 150k. Jesus. So, I don't know. This TV is rubbish. There's nothing on the telly. I've looked. It's rubbish. I can't even watch TV with the stress I'm under. Used to like watching Hollyoaks and Corrie, but I can't even concentrate on that anymore. I'm just thinking that what do I do? I saw a documentary about nuns and it seemed very educational because what they do is they give you your own space. You have your own bedroom, bathroom and area because they say nuns need their own space. So you can make that exactly as you want it so it's cozy. It's your private area. But you're not allowed to wear other clothes when you're going around the nunnery. You have to be in this weird outfit that they have, and you have to walk around like that when you go out and you're in that the whole time. And then they have communal areas where you can cook and do all sorts of things. You can make pottery. They have all sorts of things where they do craft and things because lots of nunneries make things and sell to keep the nunnery above board, so you can have good food and stuff because they eat well. I saw a documentary on it. It was very educational about monks as well ages ago. So that would be fine with me because at least you're in it with the safe people because nuns have a lot in common with me. The virgins, the teetotal, they're not on drugs, they're not criminals, they're decent human beings. So I'd be probably better in with them. It's just that I'm atheist because of what I've been put through. I find it very hard to believe there is anything. But I'm just going to have to pull that one off. I think I could pull it off anyway. Quite good at that, I think. Yeah, because Jesus is a cool character. Whether he's real or not, we don't know. But what they did to him was catastrophic. I think we've got a lot in common because he's an innocent person, really nice. He's so nice. If he was real, it'd be amazing. And if all this is real, God, this TV's doing my head in. And if he came down again, like they say he's coming out the sky, that'd be amazing because he's lovely. But I saw Christine again today when I came out. And Christine is a lady from Ireland who has a daughter here. And she says she lives in a horrible flat. She hates it. Chester West Council took her babies off her or something. That's what she said ages ago over there. And it's distraught her. As well as that, she gave me £1 today. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yes. She was very kind. She said she's found Joe. But she said apparently he shaved his head in a rage. And he had a cap. I never told you about Joe. So what happened was, after the last video that I put on, I've been so ill and everything, I didn't want to talk about it. Anyway, I was on the streets again. On the streets, because they only threatened me with this filthy, seedy hostel I refused to go into. So I was on the streets, and Joe saw me when an ambulance had come to me again. People keep sending ambulances when you're suicidal. Not that they do anything. They just physically check you out and leave you. Anyway, so the point is pointless, isn't it? You know what I mean? So anyway, this Joe character was really cool. He's like, I don't want to be rude because he might not be that old. Late 50s, early 60s. Long hair here was the shoulder. Grey and black, dark. Then he had, he has like a hat on, which was like black with a big white stripe across it. A band, sorry. Sunglasses, even though it wasn't sunny, he has sunglasses to hide his eyes. And then he's in just black clothing, quite small, slim build. And on his feet he had slippers because he suffers from blisters, he said, and bad feet. So so he was there, and he saw me, and he just said he was going to put me in B&B there and then, which he did, which was really good. And he put me in this nice Clifton hotel on the front, and just made sure I had enough shakes. And then he'd see me around. He said he was psychic, and that if I needed him again, he'd turn up. And I thought he's like extrovert, and everything, and eccentric. But he was a nice person, and I'm looking for him. And she said to me she'd found him. He's been in the other hotel. What's it called? Scarisbrick. There are a chain of hotels here. They've got loads of them, and it's a chain. And Prince of Wales and those hotels, he goes around them as well, staying there for the weekend. But they said he'd left. But she's going to keep going back to see if she can find him, because she wants money off him too. But I think she wants him to put her in a hotel because she doesn't like where she's living. She begs because she's desperate for money, but she's only made a couple of quid today. But she insisted on giving me a quid to try and get some chips because I was starving. And I had to walk to Morrison's. I hadn't eaten all day. I'd had the breakfast, but they gave me a breakfast here too in the hotel, which is good. So I had only really eat all day then. So I go to Morrison's and just get something, you know what I mean, like a sandwich and crisps and different things, a drink and some chocolate. So she insisted, but of course I couldn't get to the chip place because they're like $1.75. So I got some candy floss because they're 50p a bag, which is stupid, isn't it? And I had 2 bags of that, which is crazy, isn't it, really? But I'm a bit hyper now, after candy floss. Anyway, oh God, this TV. I can't even find the remote. I think it's over there. I just haven't got the energy to get it. What is this violence now? Anyway, it's too loud, isn't it? It's doing my head in. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. But, so I don't know. I feel so low sometimes you can't see an end to it. And you think when I come out of here, I'll just feel like I want to die because it's nice being in here. You're safe and warm in a lovely hotel. But when you come out of the hotel, they kick me out back on the streets again or threaten me with a hostel, which I refuse to go into. So that means I'm back on the streets and I can't find Joe. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. So I really don't know what to do. Because if they do leave me in the lurch, we've got to find Joe. But she's going to try and find him for me because it looks like they're going to leave me in the lurch. That's how I feel. I feel like it could happen. To trust them. Because at the moment it's safe for a few days. But when these days come to an end, they could just say that they're going to leave me in the lurch again. Well, I'm used to that with Chester, aren't I? They kick you out of hotels and leave you on the streets. So I don't know what to do. I'm feeling very scared. You can email me. It's pinkbabybutton6@gmail.com anytime to give me information about monasteries, nunneries, convents, whatever they're called, in the area. If there is something in Southwark, which is the Catholic church that I attend, because the internet is rubbish and wouldn't tell me. It gave me a list of about 8 churches and they want you to phone them. I've got no credit to phone them, so I don't know who is who. Didn't say that, which was Catholic. If somebody knows, please let me know, because I need to know. Because I'm thinking about it, and I think Norma knows what she's doing. But Norma seemed to think people from the church would take me in. They wouldn't see somebody like me on the street, she said, because you can tell straight away. She said, you're not a criminal. You've not been on drugs or alcohol. She can tell straight away. I'm not one of these people like the classic homeless people are. Okay, most of them are. I'm not like, you know what I mean? But you've got to be honest. I don't really fit the criteria. I'm more vulnerable. I mean, they're more streetwise than me. And most of them have got a drug or alcohol addiction, and people won't want people like that they don't know into their house. Well, I'm completely safe. I'm like a child. You can take me in and I'm not going to touch, steal or do any damage to your goods at all. All I need is feeding because I'm starving all the time, and to be kept warm and somewhere comfortable to sleep. I need big bed because I'm very large build, so I can sleep. That's all I need. And a bit of TV now and then is good if you can get me one, if you don't mind. But that would be all I'd need. But I'd be very, very extremely grateful if somebody would take me in. I have tried asking for this before. I've had lots of perverts on here. That is not what I want. I do not want a man. I do not want a sexual relationship. I'm 100% celibate. I'm 51. I'm still a virgin. There's no way that's going to change now at this time of life. So all I want is somebody like a retired couple, an elderly lady who say her husband's died and she's on her own, she wants some company, and then I can just, all I want to do is sleep. I'll chat to you, we'll be friends, and as long as I can get some food, because I've got zero money, and then when the benefit money comes back in, I'll be able to, you get hardly anything, it's 100 quid a week, so I'll be able to look after myself, with that, if I want to go out or something and whatever, to the bus. Can I get a bus pass sorted or whatever? But you understand what I mean. I just need some help, like I would have if I had a family member, which I don't have, unfortunately, because I'm the sole survivor of my family. And lots of people on here said liar, because most people come from big families and they find it hard to believe. Well, I can guarantee I have no living relatives at all. Everybody is dead. I was an only child, my mother's an only child. It goes back generations, both sides of the family. So there you go, only children. That's why we don't have any brothers and sisters. And I have no aunts and uncles. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it is. I know it's rare, but it's true, and it's happened to me. I wish I did have, because if I did have somebody, blood is thicker than water, and blood will help you. Whereas water turns to ice very quickly and very coldly, I'm afraid to say. I've learnt that. But blood keeps pumping. Blood won't let you down, no matter what. Even if you fall out with your brother or sister, you hate them, you don't get on, you don't talk. If you become desperate, they will pick up your back. I don't have that. And I wish I did have that. Unless you've got really good friends, like Steph. My best friend Steph had to take her own life because things got too much, and that was a while ago now. We're talking about 20 years ago. Then at age 42, when I was 42, that'll be nearly 10 years ago. It'd be 9, wouldn't it, because I'm 51. Roz died of cancer. She had cancer right through her. Everybody that's been friendly with me, bad things have happened to, like her. And then other people have just drifted apart and let me down, basically. So the nice people who are genuine have died. It got too much for Steph. And she took her own life. She was with Trevor at the time, but it was awful. Can't talk about that now. But she was lovely. So much personality. And bad things happen to good people, and it's not fair. But that's what happens. That's what life's about, I'm afraid. And I don't want to live. I have no desire in me left to live at all, to tell you the truth. I'm just here day by day. The only time I'm happy is when I'm deeply asleep. And I feel at peace then. But then when you wake up and have to face another day, I find it very, very traumatic and stressful. But it's okay if you're in a safe, warm place like this. But I'm only here for a few days, and then they're going to kick me out. Because it's the Lighting for Life that put me here. Once the council take over, they say I'm not under them. I'm under Chester, which Chester leaves me to sleep rough. So we're back to square one. And they'll probably leave me out in the cold. So I've got to act fast. I've got to find Joe. So if you're out there in the Southport area, can you please find Joe? Give him the email. He's got a friend. If not, there was another friend. He has a friend. He has people he knows. They can email me. And I can give my phone number then on the email. I'm not giving it out on here because I have all the trolls ringing me constantly. So I give you the email, and then you have to give it me that way, because then I can report you to the police if I get dangerous emails that I had from Sarah Body threatening to kill me and dice me into pieces, which wasn't very nice. So then I show that email to the police. Anyway, things like that. It's terrible, isn't it? Some sick people out there. Well, it's not her real name. She's hiding behind a pseudo name, isn't she? Well, if it is her real name, she's sicker than I thought then. Anyway, real weirdo, that one. Duh. She's barking. If you think I'm mad, she is doolally, so doolally. She is completely insane. She should not be allowed out ever again. Anyway, it's terrible, some sick people. I've mostly had perverts, that's all. Not people threatening to kill me. It's only her. It was, I've had perverts on here. I get lots of perverts on the email and all this. And I've told them it's not happening because I'm not interested. I don't want sex with men, women, or dogs or cats or anything. I just want somebody to help me. Treat me like I'm a sort of child that needs help then, because that's what I'm like. I'm like a person in need, like a stray animal that needs picking up and looking after and putting on my feet, because I'm certainly not on my feet now. stressed out my mind. Anyway, if anybody knows anything about this, because I've been racking my brains and thinking of everything. I've been to Job Centre, plus they refuse to give me a job. They say because I've got ME and I'm unemployable, I'm not fit to work. Because if I fall asleep at the job, I'll be sacked. It takes it off my benefit money. So they said it's not applicable. I've tried 3 times in there and they refuse to see me anymore. So that was in the Chester before I came here. And I did try, and they were different people, and they got angry with me. Anyway, so they refused to help me. So I can't get a job, so I can't get money. So the only other option I've got is to hand myself into a monastery or a nunnery now. I've thought about it long and hard. I could give it a shot. And then if it doesn't work out, I could attempt suicide. At least I've given myself a chance, haven't I? Because I saw that documentary. It was lovely. It was all new, this nunnery. And you're given, like, your own room. You get your own bathroom and, like, it's your own room. You share kitchens and all that, but it's not like where drug addicts are. It's where the nuns are, so it's all clean and nice, in a really nice place. I don't mind sharing the kitchen with nuns, but I wouldn't share it with heroin addicts, you know what I mean? You'd have bloody heroin in your food. They'd go in your food anyway and steal it, wouldn't they? But the nuns are very, very, fussy. So it's been like in a hotel when the staff kitchens and things like that. That's what it'd be like. All safe and sound. But and I think they cook and you can contribute, and if you were good at cooking or something, I could do some good desserts. I'm not very good at like cooking properly, but I'm quite good at whipping up desserts, making fancy desserts, Knickerbocker glories and things. I'm excellent at that. You give me a pile of different ice cream sauces and creams and everything, and I'll whip you up something fabulous. So I could give them fabulous ice creams. I could do that all the time. I'm good at that, really good at that. I've done it loads in the past. And everybody's always said how wonderful they were. But like Knickerbocker glories, like ice cream parlor type stuff, I'm really good at that. But I don't know what to do. I'm just thinking, I'm just so confused because today was a very stressful day again that I've been through. And I'm just trying to think what is applicable to my situation now. What can I do in a step forward? And I've thought about this, and Norma was such a wonderful woman that I met the other day. So lovely, this lady. Such a caring person. And she was concerned about me, and she thought it was disgusting what I'd been through. When I told her what had happened, she couldn't believe it. That they'd think, she said, about putting somebody like you in a hostel. Oh, she said, it broke her heart to think of me. A hostel? A girl like you in a hostel? It breaks my heart. That's what she said. She's so lovely. And she said to put me in a hostel, which is disgusting. It would make my grandmother turn in a grave. To think they'd thought of putting me in a hostel. It's disgusting, isn't it? But, I mean, somebody who's disabled, who can't walk, amongst all those. I'm not as if I'm a student, am I? You know what I mean? A backpacker or something. Some young student. It's a bit different than if they shove you in a hostel. But not somebody in my condition who's not well, who's vulnerable, at the mercy of people, and then be shoved amongst people like that who've been in prison on heroin and that type. It's not safe or suitable for me. And those places are like prison cells. It's horrendous. I'm never going near there. I'd be outside and freeze to death. That's why I've got to try and see these nuns. But I don't know where to go. I'm going to have to come forward and tell them I think I'm atheist, but I'm going to try and become a nun. I don't know what to do about that. Because I'm no good at lying, so I don't know what to do. But I can try and pull it off. I'm very, I've seen The Sound of Music like millions of times. I know it word for word. So that might have me in good stead. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think what I can do. There's no options. If you've got any options out there where they won't employ me, you see. If I could get a job where they're going to pay me, and it doesn't matter if I get sacked and they'll pay me until I get sacked, try and help me. Or if anybody can think of something like a nunnery, but even better, where they'll take me, where I don't have to pull it off that I'm religious when I'm not. Something that's easier than that would be great. But I don't think there is anything else. I've thought about it long and hard. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. Life is so stressful though, isn't it? You know what I mean? At least it's warm in here. My head is so itchy though. Look at all this mess in here. I'll just shave my head soon because it's so matted with the sleeping rough and everything. I can't brush it out. I've tried it. I give up in the end. It's like complete tangled mess. I'm not even going to get it out to show you. I feel so ill. So I feel quite sick now because I've drunk a can of soup and I've had these cheddars in a bag and a bar of chocolate. That's all I'm eating tonight. And then I've eaten crisps earlier on. And I like this wedge of cheese that I got from Morrison's. It's red Leicester off the counter. It's lovely. But it's like a wedge of it, and I ate the whole thing and felt a bit sick. Because you can't have cooked food, you see, if you're in a if you've got vouchers. You can't buy cooked food with vouchers. That's the problem. Anyway, I don't know how I'm going to cope. I mean, the nunnery, there's a place where you won't starve. They have plenty of food and it's good, like home cooked dinners. You get like your breakfast and shit. They do proper food in the nunneries, because I saw that documentary. Did you see it a while ago? And it was on the TV. It was about them in some part of the country. Brand new nunnery. It's lovely. And the rooms are lovely that they had. And then they're showing their bedrooms. And they were making, some nuns were doing pottery, making perfume, I think, somewhere. And you can make them. And then they have a craft shop. So they come around the nunnery and look round, not in your bedroom, like the thing, people on a tour. And then, because it's like a monastery, like say Chester Cathedral. And then they come round and then that you can sell the things to keep them afloat so that they've got enough money to eat properly, heat the place and keep it nice. It's really good. So you make stuff, and that's really good, isn't it? Because I like doing pottery and stuff and art and stuff. I love painting. So you could do something like that. They let you do all that in a monastery. It's really good. And monks were involved as well. So I don't know. And some were taking in homeless people. Some monk organisation was. But they had to be decent ones. And they were training them up. They were training them in the garden. It was men, who'd been in prison and things and become homeless. But these were men that were really sorry for what they'd done. And they weren't going to be dangerous. They had promised not to be. And they'd gone in with these monks. And they were training them up to let them outside again. But they were training how to a skill, like how to do the gardening, like become a professional gardener or things like that. I can't do that because of my hip, but I could do clay molding, sitting down and painting pictures and stuff. I like that. I love creating stuff. I love art. I used to love art at school. So paper mache and all that. I love all that. But I like creative stuff. I love making stuff. But all that, it'd be good. But I'm just thinking. I've been thinking long and hard because I've got nothing else to do. I've got to think about what am I going to do? What is my future holding? And it's either suicide or trying to think of something. And I think if they're going to let me sleep rough again, which it looks like it could happen, to be honest, because they're either going to shove me, try and force me in a hostel, which isn't happening, so I'll be outside, or goodness knows what they'll have me lined up for. That's what I dread to think. Some terrible slum dwelling that they've offered me before that'll make me want to hang myself, that I won't be able to sit in. Some damp, dirty dive of a place surrounded by heroin addicts where I won't be able to cope in. So it'll make you want to die. Whereas if you're with nuns, you're with safe people, aren't you? They're not going to rape you. They're not going to be monks, aren't they? They're not going to rape you. They're not going to make you drink alcohol or give you heroin or steal off you or beat you to a pulp. So you're safer in with people like that than anyone, really. Just thinking that. It would be safer. I don't know what to do anyway. So if you can come up with something, I'd be very grateful. Or if you know any monasteries, give them my details, my email, or give me their email, because they all have emails now. They're up to date. Everything is nowadays. So they're very updated because they're selling things. They make things, craft things in a lot of them. They were making jams, the monks were, jams, different flavoured jams they were making in there. And one monk was really particular with his jam, and he was doing really well in the monastery. And his jam was keeping the place afloat because the people were coming to get his jam because it was really good. So things like that. If you can find out who these people are, tell them my situation, my predicament, that it's rare, that I'm a decent person. I was privately educated. I'm not on drugs or alcohol. I've not got any criminal convictions at all. I'm a virgin to begin with. I'm a decent human being. who've never been drunk, let alone an alcoholic, and certainly never on a street drugs, with no criminal convictions. And if they know that, they will take me in. So it's just getting there, getting the right person to help me, because I was hoping that somebody like a billionaire could bail me out. But then again, I'd be on my own, wouldn't I? Whereas if I'm in a monastery, I'd be around people. I wouldn't be on my own. And I could do something constructive, like make things and sell them, like to keep the monastery going. I'd love to do that, to create stuff like pottery or paintings and things, and try and sell them and do things like that. And you'd have other people to talk to there. So it's a good idea. It's just an idea. They might not take me because they might ask lots of questions. They might find out I'm not a religious, and then they might not be happy about that. I don't know. But we'll see about it. It was just an option, something, because I don't know what to do. Anyway, if anyone can think of something sensible, not anything like prostitution or any jokes or saying that you're in love with me and you think I'm gorgeous, because why would you say that? And all these perverts that come on here, it's not happening. I'm not interested in anything like that. Any weirdos wanting to rape me, because I don't want to be raped. All I want to do is somebody to actually genuinely help me. That's all I need to kickstart me, so that I'm not having to kill myself. Because I feel trapped. I want to die because of my situation is so bad. But if there is a way forward, I'm trying to find it. And that wonderful woman, Norma, I think is trying to help me. Because she said, I hope she bumps into me again. I hope I see her. Should have taken the phone number, you see. It happened really quick. Everything happens fast. This is the problem. You see people and then things happen, don't they, you know? Anyway, I just hope Joe turns up again, because at least he put me in a hotel or something. He's not going to have me on the streets if I see him. So I just hope he's there. Because according to this Christine who was in that hotel, he described him and he said it was definitely him. And that he'd shaved his head and he's put on a blue baseball cap now. Blue trainers, she said. And he was in white instead of black. Now, white trousers. That's what they said. And they said they definitely thought it was him by the description. And he was Joe. But they couldn't give out his surname because it's confidential on the thing. But he'd been there the weekend and he could come back. So she said she's hanging around that hotel, Prince of Wales, Scarisbrick, that, you know, Clifton, those hotels are chain, to see whether he turns up. And if he does, then she'll tell him straight away where I am, so that he can come and help me, not to the hotel, because I haven't told her what hotel I'm in, but so that she can, you know, so that she see her every day. She just turns out of nowhere, you know what I mean? So, I mean, she'll get him then to help me if I need it. I'm hoping I don't. I hope these people help me and continue to help me and keep me here, because it's great here and I feel safe here until something proper happens and I get proper help. But I don't trust it. It was social services getting involved. You know, social services, and you say anymore. And councils again with housing option teams. I don't think it's going to be that positive, to be honest, because it never has been before. If Chester's got anything to go by. Anyway, so I'll leave it now. But if you can think of anything positive and constructive, I'd be extremely grateful. Thank you very much.